Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? We are Gifted Eyez Podcast. This is your captain speaking. I'm Peter Pilot, also known as Pilot Pete, and I'm here with my co-host,
JD.
I'm here with my other co-host,
R3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we actually jump into our topic, I want y'all to do 4 things for me. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, hit the subscribe button. Number 3, hit the notification bell. Number 4,
Please.
go follow us on Instagram
Yes, sir.
and Twitter.
And TikTok.
And TikTok.
TikTok.
And Facebook. What else are we on?
We're on everything.
On everything.
Follow us on everything.
Follow us on everything.
Like us on everything.
Like us on everything,
Please.
please. And to find us, it's at Eyez, EYEZ _ gifted.
Bang.
It's going to be in the
Wow.
description below because I know people like to forget things. So
Mm-hmm.
we got you with that. But yeah, follow us on everything, like everything, share if you think some of our past videos helped y'all with anything in life. Share it with someone because it can help someone else. And that's something that I recently got advice for. So just make sure you share things, and we're all gonna be winning at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so we wanted to just continue the conversation that we had last episode about identity, and we wanted to take it one step further. So this is basically identity part 2, but we're going to talk more about getting outside your comfort zone because we want you to grow as a person, and the best way to grow is to understand who you are and where you want to go in life.
Yes, sir.
All right, so right now we have an image here, and it says the comfort zone. So we're going to have it up for y'all. But it shows a small circle, comfort zone, a bigger circle, fear zone, a slightly bigger circle, learning zone, and then an even bigger circle called the growth zone. So actually, before I want to jump into that, I want us to share a little bit of when we felt like we had to get outside our comfort zone.
One that comes to the top of my head right now, I would say just waking up earlier. Just waking up earlier to get whatever I want to get done. So, for example, one right now is going to the gym in the morning. I hate waking up early. I hate it. I always hated it. I like to just, wake up whenever I can, right before work or whatever it was, class, like 5 minutes before, just to go real quick. I just hated waking up early. I felt like it was unnecessary. Like I could just do everything else later in the day.
Yeah.
But like I realized just with waking up earlier, you have more of a reason to like do everything in the morning. You know what I mean? Like get everything you want to get done for in the day earlier, so that then later in the day, you could even just do more stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it's just different for me. I feel like I'm just more productive, have more energy, and it's just really what it really comes down to is like planning your days the day before or the week before, like really setting up your schedule down to the T, so that you know what you're doing. It's harder for you to get off track. It's harder for you to be spontaneous with things that just come in your head. You already know what you want to do. So that's me getting out of my comfort zone and waking up early, just waking up way earlier, like 4:30, early. Like it's early.
That is pretty early.
It's early.
Yeah, that's like me right now. Waking up early. It's definitely different, but different than what I'm used to. Because I'm also I wake up right away. Like 30 minutes before I have to, stuff like that. But for me, I would have to say for getting out of my comfort zone would be like budgeting. Because like now I've figured out how it's better for me to if I want to do something and it costs, or I want to get something, sometimes I have to, take that sacrifice and, say, nah, not today, or oh, that's too much, or, stuff like that. And, before it was like, if I wanted that, I'm going to get it. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, it has its consequences, and everything has its consequence. You do, one thing, you're going to get another out of it. So, yeah, budgeting.
It sounds like you're being more intentional with your money.
Yeah.
You feel me? Instead of just you saying, I want this, and then just spending money on it. It's like, I want this. Actually, do I actually need it? And if I don't really need it, can I wait to get it later?
Yeah.
You feel me?
And not only that, I have a good job now, and why waste the money that I'm getting on,
OnlyFans and stuff like that.
I'm not you. That's you.
I didn't say
that's you.
I didn't say the financial. It was you. You got 30 subscriptions.
We know why you going to sleep earlier.
No.
He said no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo.
You don't know why? I don't know why either. I just said that.
Bro, just unsubscribe, bro.
Edit that out. He got me. Edit that out.
JD1, R3, 0.
No, 0.5. Give me something.
Oh, man.
I'll give you some money for another subscription. But how about you, P? What's something that comes to mind?
I think I'm a person who likes to be outside the comfort zone all the time because I like learning new things. I think something that I do a lot is travel to like different cities. I try to travel to different states as much as possible. And the main reason for that, I think like a lot of people just don't know why I do it so much. One, because I'm trying to enjoy life as much as possible. And two, what I learned by like studying abroad and living abroad, when you're in a completely different environment, you move. It's kind of like you move differently and you rely on your instincts a lot more. You feel me? Because for an example, when you're at home, you know where everything is. You don't really have to be extra like attentive or extra like aware. But when you're in a completely different space, especially like if you're in a completely different country, everything's foreign to you, especially if the language is not your language. For an example, like in the U.S., the main language is English. But if you're in a Spanish-speaking country and you don't speak this the language fluently, you gotta figure it out. You gotta know how to navigate, and you don't want to look too much like a foreigner either. You feel me? So it's kind of like now you're really on your P's and Q's, and that's how we were in Philly. My most recent trip when I was in Philly, and Philly is a dangerous city, but if you know how to maneuver through stuff like that, it's not really dangerous anymore because you know how to move in general. But you still got to be on your P's and Q's when you're in a completely different environment. So that's kind of like a way for me to like check myself, be like, yo, be aware of your situations, be aware of your environment, and just enjoy it at the same time and just learn as much as possible. So I think the overall answer to this is I'm usually outside my comfort zone when I'm in a different city, different state, in a different country.
It's interesting to say that because I feel like you're also like a good problem solver too because of that.
Exactly, yeah.
P always P can always find an alternative answer to anything. If there's a problem, it's like, well, we could do this, and I feel like that plays a part because you're always in your comfort zone. Because I see that a lot. Me, I hate being out of my comfort zone. It's just one of those things, I mean, I'll do it, but it's like it's like a chore to me. It's like, yeah.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, like getting outside your comfort zone just exposes you to so many different perspectives, and yeah, just me naturally. When I think of one thing, like I can think of a dog. Like you could probably think of a pit bull. You could think of like a chihuahua. I'm thinking about like 30 different dogs all at the same time. And sometimes like my mind just overworks, but it's because I have so much experience of just like getting outside my comfort zone and seeing so many different things. And now when something simple, it could be again like the word dog, but there's so many different aspects that I've exposed myself to that it's like a lot. You feel me? What's so funny? What's so funny?
Man, looked at me.
You made a face.
You was looking at me because.
Yo.
What?
Nah, but no, that's fair. That's fair. What I was thinking about is like kind of like what you said, but kind of like how you were talking about first. Like you don't really like getting outside your comfort zone, and I kind of feel you on that. I feel like most people are like that. To be honest, most people want to stay comfortable, but like something I always try to remind myself is like, in order for you to grow, you have to be uncomfortable.
You have to.
That's the only way for you to, one, learn like you're saying, but grow in any aspect. So like if I feel like, dang, I don't want to do this, like, oh, I kind of have to just do it, try it, because the hardest part is the first step, right? It's like anything, it's just the act of doing it is usually the hardest part. But once you're in that environment or whatever it is, you become a problem solver. You become able to maneuver in that situation. So it's always just the first part that's the hardest. Yeah, there's gonna be other obstacles, but
what's interesting about like the hardest part is the first step on this like graph, because comfort zone is that's where you are. The first step is the fear zone, and when there's fear, a lot of people usually go against the fear, like they don't want to deal with the fear. But the people who want to grow, they tackle it head on. You feel me? So that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's the comfort zone, then the fear zone, which is the hard part. When you're scared of something, you try to avoid it.
Yeah,
and then like I said, the growth, the learning zone, and then growth, which is pretty much very similar.
So once you get over that fear, and it's not a fear anymore, then you start learning. Now you're able to take in information without anything holding you back.
Yeah,
because fear really just is not knowing.
That's exactly what it's exactly.
It's literally what fear is.
It's true. Because once you know it, there's no reason for you to fear it anymore. Yeah. Because you're like, okay, I could plan around it. Yeah. Or I could plan to go through, or I could do this, I could do that. Okay. That makes sense.
Or fear can be misunderstanding something as well.
Exactly.
Those are good points. Those are good points.
So in the learning zone, right, it says acquire new skills, extend your comfort zone, deal with challenges and problems. So what is a new skill that you could think of, especially because we are in August now? Let's say in the last 3 months, summer. What new skill have you acquired recently, if any? I do not yet.
One new skill.
It could be small, big.
Yeah.
It could be something in your day-to-day tasks.
Could be sucking toes.
Nah, he was already elite with sucking toes.
I didn't do that. I thought But nah, what I'm thinking, like a new skill, or just like,
or improved on an old skill.
I think like my scheduling. Like I feel like I'm more organized, and I understand that with your schedule, you have to be okay with it to change over time. Like that's one thing that used to always be like something in the back of my head. I would want to plan a schedule and it always be like that. Like if I know something's gonna change in a month, I can't do it this way because it's gonna change. But I have to be okay with, maybe this month is gonna be set up like this, but next month is gonna change because I'm gonna add something or take away something, and that's okay to have this month be like this. Not sure if that makes sense, but like for me, I used to be like, nah, I don't want it. I can't go to a class at this time because in next month I'm not gonna have class. It would be something weird. It was something that was me. But now I understand, like for this month or this week I can do this, but next week I'll do it like this, do it like that. Just planning ahead.
And just being open minded to
Yeah.
change.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
That one was kind of hard in terms of scheduling things for me,
Okay.
which is mad weird, but I just knew how it was for me. How about y'all?
I think for me, I think the number one thing that I've been really trying to focus on, especially this year, is like setting boundaries with myself and other people. I think I'm doing pretty good. Usually, like when someone needs my help, I always just, jump the gun and try to help them right away. But sometimes it hurts me because I'm taking time out of like my life when I have to get stuff done. I'll put other people ahead of me. Yeah, I'll put other people in front of me, even though I have stuff to get done. You feel me? So, like for an example, like let's say Richie needs someone to change his tire, even though he's a mechanic. But let's say he needs someone to change his tire. I'll usually be the first one to be like, yo, I'll help you, even though I have stuff I have to do. You feel me? So I know sometimes that I'll like jump the gun or rush it without planning, and that will hurt me in the long run because I have stuff I have to get done first, and then I can plan around, helping other people. So just setting boundaries and just putting myself first.
That's a big one, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's really good because a lot of people, or some people, want to be very are just like naturally kind people and want to help other people first, which is a great thing. But sometimes you gotta tone it down so that you're able to focus on yourself. Because there's a lot of people that will take from you.
Talk about
something as simple as just your energy. They could take it from you, and it could drain you. But like if it's just the energy, but also time, resources, money, whatever it is, you got to be cautious and careful on what you allow people to take from you. So it's good that you're aware of it because it's it could be an hour today, but over time that's hours you just gave to somebody when you could have been working on whatever you wanted to work on or whatever you had planned.
That's a great point. So to all the natural givers, please take time to take care of yourself.
Stop giving.
And it's you don't have to stop giving, just give less. You feel me? So like for an example, like if you feel like you would need to say no and you're a person that always gives, it's okay to say no that one time. Like saying no doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just no just means at that moment of time, just can't do it. You feel me? And I went through that whole phase of like, damn, like my boys would have to tell me, like, yo, why you always say yes to things? Because if someone needs help, I felt like it was my job to. No, you guys did. You guys. But it was more like when people ask for help, like I felt like it was my job to help people. You feel me? Like, especially when you live in an environment where nobody wants to help people, and you have that opportunity to help someone. I put the extra pressure on myself. Like I'm always gonna help someone who's in need, but eventually I became that person in need because I was always giving, and not receiving.
Gotcha.
You feel me? So like that's why I had to change my ways and put myself first majority of the time. Then I'm able to give when I need to give, not give all the time.
Yeah. Or when you're available to give.
Exactly, when I'm available to give. Exactly.
That's cool. That's what's up. How about you, Rich?
I would have to say for me, be not folding under pressure. Like lately, like like at work, stuff like that, I've been able to, it's really it's like keeping your composure and controlling your emotions. It really helps with, not only just problem solving, but with like any situation. To be honest, it's helping with me with dealing with being in an uncomfortable, position or something, in or situation. And it's really like controlling my emotions where, I can sit back and be like, all right, I need to get this done, or this happened. I need to, how can I go, further or forward with it, and sitting there and being like, letting yourself just, blow it out of proportion or, whatever, controlling yourself and just, it just makes things so much easier. And Yeah, that's what I would have to say.
That's tough. It sounds like the emotional intelligence just increasing it.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, like, say I had to get something done and, like, say it's overwhelming work or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I can sit back and, like, instead of being like, oh, like, damn, I had to do this. Damn. Like, now it's like, I'm just going to get it done. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm getting it done. Stuff like that. So being able to just sit back, like, all right, I need to do this. It's just so much easier, less stress. You know, I get it done.
You saying that, right? I have a question for both of y'all. Do you think nowadays people are just too emotional, especially with basic tasks?
Well, what I think is a lot of people.
This is like general, like
Yeah.
U.S., you know? 'Cause
Yeah, I
that's
feel
where
like
we live.
a lot of people, they based their actions off of emotional thinking. You know what I mean? Instead
agree.
of,
I
you know, your emotions are there to, you know, it's like it's energy and motion, really, you know? And you see nowadays a lot of people, they act on those emotions. And, you know, you don't really want to act. You can think, you know, hey, like, I'm feeling this way or, you know, stuff like that. But you see it nowadays, a lot of people are acting on those emotions.
Without thinking.
Yeah, without thinking.
Yes, I agree with you 110%.
And you're seeing just people do dumb things, like, you know, or things they regret they did, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I would have to say about, you know, that.
I agree. What about you, JD?
No, I'm not even sure, to be honest. Y'all got me thinking right now. Not even sure. Something that came to mind though was like, I know somebody who talked about how they speak, like they understand that some people they emotionally react to certain words, right? So he speaks in a way so that he avoids using words that create an emotional response, right? So like if he's trying to make a point, he will speak in a way that the most common words that will cause a reaction, like somebody that says stupid or idiot, like he will go around those words so that he's able to clearly get his point across and you not like
Be
naturally
emotionally triggered.
Yes, not be triggered, which is I was like, oh shoot, that's crazy. Like him having to do that probably is annoying, but like him doing that, like it just shows how aware of other people's reactions he is, because he was not going to be able to get his point across because there's going to be a wall that's blocked off by the emotional reaction, that them being triggered. You know what I mean? So like that's just what came to mind. I was like, wow, he's really able to do that, and you know, maybe that's helpful for you guys, or you know, you could probably pass that message along to other people, like trying to speak in a way that doesn't try to create,
or how you say it too.
Yes, your tone.
Yeah, because you could say one thing like 6 different ways, and it could mean something else.
It's true.
It's crazy.
It's true. Like your Dewey's too tight. I mean, or damn, bro, your Dewey's a little tight. So it's different, bro. It's a different, you know. But damn, make sure your Dewey's tight, bro. Like, what's up, bro? You gotta go readjust it, bro. What's up, bro?
JD 2, Richie 0.
You know what? I give up.
But don't give up, bro. You good, bro. Just loosen it. Just loosen it. See, so it's just depending on how you say it, it means something different.
I can never win.
Yeah, bro. Nah, but that's funny.
No, that's a beautiful point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like he has to be aware. You have to be aware enough when you deal with people to know like the general trigger words, and then there are trigger words that are specific to people.
And it's crazy how it's all about energy, what energy you use. You know, it's crazy. And, you know, to just communicate. Anything you do, you know, you have to, you know, use energy for, you know what I mean? So communicating with somebody, stuff like that. But you gotta know what energies to use, you know, to, you know, get your point across.
Exactly. And I feel like a great way to learn how to speak to people and learn how people interact is by talking with kids.
Oh yeah.
Like if you worked with kids before, you understand how much words can impact someone. You know, like the tone of voice, how you say it, the words that you use. And each kid is different because everyone comes from a different background. And if you think about it, kids are, especially babies, like they're in their most pure form before society corrupts them. You feel
innocent.
Me? They're so innocent. So whatever you say, they soak it in, and it sticks with them longer than like an adult. Because an adult will learn how to brush things off, but as a kid, you haven't gone to that point yet. Yeah, you haven't learned that skill.
They haven't had a uncomfortable zone yet. You know,
exactly, because they're so like, what's the word? Sheltered. Yeah. By the parents, you know, in the school.
They're still in the nest.
They're still in the nest, exactly.
Baby bird's still in the nest. He don't know what the world's like yet.
And the world is a tough place. But if you learn how to get outside your comfort zone, if you learn how to, you know, work in the fear zone, and then you get in the learning zone, then you could get to the growth zone, and you know all those problems that you was having before are no longer problems because you're able to grow from that, and you were able to become a better you. And when you become the better you value life a little bit more, and that's the goal.
It's like you don't get affected by certain things because of the fact you've been in, you know, such an uncomfortable position, you know, situation in your life, or, you know, situations, and you know how, you know, you are, you know, you identified yourself because you were in a different, you know, state of what you're used to, you know. So when that happens, you're able to shut things out, like, you know.
That's unnecessary.
People will be hating, you know.
Talk about it.
You know, people hate, but it's like, you know, you get to a point where that doesn't affect you, you know. You got a problem with, you know your weakness in one, you know, area, you know, that doesn't affect you because you're like, I could work on that, you know, stuff like that. You're able to, when you don't limit yourself, you know, because of the fact you're able to, you know, sit there and be like, all right, I don't like to be here, I don't like to be there, or, you know, this, I can't do this, I can't do that, but I'm not going to limit myself and be like, I can't do that forever. I can't, you know, because of the fact I can get there. I can, but you'll literally better yourself. That it's all about, you know, bettering yourself, improving yourself.
Valid. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, I'm good over here.
Oh no. Don't just remember, you're not alone. You know, you're not behind. But you'll literally better yourself.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
We are Gifted Eyez Podcast. Peace.
Love and happiness.